Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Joel Mower. So, Joel, if you want to go ahead and tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Yeah, I live just outside of Austin, Texas, in one of the suburbs here, Leander, which is 25 minutes from downtown Austin. And I am the founder and owner of Dink Ninjas Performance Pickleball. We are a startup here. We're about started about in March with this enterprise here, and we've been growing and enjoying the brand awareness that we've been able to create through social media, and we are moving right along here.
Awesome. So, how did you get the idea for starting this business?
I started playing pickleball just recreationally. I had some buddies that play professionally down here, and had one of their families over for dinner one night, and guy's name's Brandon Instig Pong, and he asked me if I had been playing pickleball yet, and I said no. And he asked me what my excuse was. I said, well, I don't really have one. So I guess I should get a paddle and start. And so I started playing about a year-ish and change ago, and just started playing on a regular basis. And obviously the game's very infectious for the people who start playing it. It kind of takes over their life in a lot of facets. And it has done the same for me. I have a pretty entrepreneurial spirit, and got interested in pickleball and figured, hey, let's see where we can go with this. So started just making hats is how I started out. And people started asking me, hey, where'd you get that hat? I really like that hat. That's a pretty cool looking brand. And so it just kind of grown organically from there.
Awesome. So, you mentioned that you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Is this your first venture? Have you had other startups? Or and if it is your first venture, what made you want to make the jump and do what you're doing now as opposed to something else in the past?
This is I would say probably my first entrepreneurial enterprise. I come from a commercial and residential background, and then currently I'm in the real estate industry, do inspection side of things for commercial and residential development. And obviously around Central Texas, it's very explosive as far as what's going on real estate wise. And so just kind of wanted something. I've got a really artistic personality as well. So like creating things and seeing where they're going and just getting feedback from people that I connect with on what I'm doing. And so started in on this, and it's really feeding my entrepreneurial and artistic spirit just to create content and create a product and get feedback on it.
I think in Dallas, people are more in real estate, and I think we should invest in real estate as well, Daniel. So, by the way, your artistic approach is quite visible behind you on the shelves. I think this is one of the chain with your artistic approach. Right?
And actually, behind me here, I'm going to have to give all that credit to my wife. She's in the medical field, but she has a
Okay.
fantastic eye for interior design and putting all that kind of stuff together. I'm just the sweat equity in milling the wood back there for the rough sawn live edge shelves, and then she's the one that decorated it all for me.
Okay, nice. So, what is your typical day look like?
As of right now, the pickleball in things, the Dink Ninjas Performance Pickleball, is more of an entrepreneurial side job for me. I'm still very much involved in the real estate end of things, but as the brand awareness grows on this, it seems to be eking away more and more of my time on a daily basis, and so it's taking over, if you will.
Okay, you're doing like multiple things. So when you're doing multiple things, then how do you stay on the top of industry trends?
Um, I'm very much involved on a daily, multiple times a week at least, basis of playing pickleball in the field. Obviously,
Hmm.
there's a massive pickleball society or community here in Austin
Hmm.
and Central Texas, and so I'm pretty well plugged into that from a player standpoint. And then I have a number of friends and colleagues and all that that are in the industry as well. And so I also am very nerdy when it comes to pickleball. So I'm watching it on the professional side of things as well, hitting up all the professional PPA and APP tournaments that come around. And then I've done a little bit of traveling to check those out as well. So try to have my finger on the pulse of the professional end of things, as well as the recreational and areas like Dreamland, one of Steve Kuhn's ventures, the founder of Major League Pickleball. His enterprise Dreamland is basically a pickleballer's paradise in Dripping Springs. It's just about an hour away, a little less than that from me. And so I've just tried to keep my finger on the pulse of pickleball in all the different facets that I can get plugged into.
So, as somebody that's in the industry, I mean, I would say it's probably, you probably would agree with this thing. It's one of the, if not the fastest growing sport, for sure, one of them right now. So, what would you say makes pickleball so popular in 2023?
I think that overall, it's an extremely approachable sport, and even growing more so as the developers and as entrepreneurs and the commercial funding side of things gets their hands dirty in this. It's going to really explode, especially nationwide in the next 18 months or so, with all the new venues popping up as far as just strictly pure pickleball venues. There's a whole bunch of different venues jumping in, and founders and all that of different companies that are creating a bunch of indoor and outdoor, and as well as hybrid indoor outdoor facilities. But extremely accessible as far as sports go. You can really, starting out, you can play in any shoes you want to, you can play in any clothes you want to. All you really need is a paddle and a court to go to. And there's a lot of parks, public and private clubs and all that have courts that are popping up. So it's super approachable, and it's not really hard at all to find somebody to play with either. You ask somebody, hey, you want to go play pickleball? And they say, where and when? Let's do it.
That's awesome. So, in terms of your products that you're selling, what makes your products better than your competition?
I would say what would make mine better than the competition is, as of right now, the uniqueness of my concept, my brand. I think that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for a more boutique type brand that really stands out. And I think that so far I've done a pretty good job of creating a unique product and a unique product line as far as what I'm doing, and the brand that I've created there. There's a lot of folks that I've talked to that really like it, and I get great feedback on the design and the concept and how approachable the Ninja is. It's not like an aggressive Ninja that's going to take over or anything. It's more, I created it just as a art outlet for me, and it's more of a cartoonish kind of character, so it's approachable and fun, but super unique from the feedback I've gotten. And I mean, it's a little bit of a slow roll for a lot of the big brands. Obviously, there's a lot of big brands out there that are in the tennis and other racket sport games, but it's kind of a slow roll to get them involved in pickleball. So I think there's a lot of people that are trying to steer towards a more boutique brand that's more of a fashion brand there, versus, hey, we're in every single country on planet Earth and everybody knows who we are, versus going with somebody more of a boutique brand that can really stand out.
And what's the role of technology in your business?
So as far as technology goes, that's part of the learning curve that I've mentioned to a number of people on my end of things. Not coming from a technology background, kind of had to learn web design and how to integrate point of sale into my website and a storefront, and learning e-commerce and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, I'm running a site that I designed and built myself, and then integrated point of sale into it. And then as far as social media goes, it's basically like a bonfire. It spreads like crazy. And so I've been able to create social media profiles on all the different popular social media platforms. And then I've been able to integrate point of sale and a business page into all that as well. So it's been actually really seamless, been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be in the concept stage to integrate everything into an e-commerce profile and then tag everything through all the social media outlets and then see everything get intertwined and work together. I've been really amazed at the technological side of things, how great everybody is at designing everything to work synchronously through all the different platforms.
Great, great. So in your website, I think your website is developed in Shopify, right?
It's not. It's actually through Equid.
Okay. So have you ever thought about integrating the AI, because you are installing tools on your own, like different tools? So have you ever thought about AI, integrating something about AI, if AI can help your business?
Honestly, I'm just kind of starting to get my feet wet with AI and just messing around with it a little bit. Haven't really figured out an angle to integrate it just yet. But it seems like as of right now, it's kind of the Wild West out there with AI. So there's definitely a ton of potential with that side of technology for sure.
Okay, it means like you are not that much in technology. So do you think you are facing any challenges in terms of technology?
As of right now, everything that I've set up so far seems to be working well for me with the amount of traffic and brand awareness that I'm getting there. Everything seems to be working pretty seamlessly so far. But obviously, once the brand awareness grows and the e-commerce side of things starts growing and store traffic and all that, I can see there's probably going to be a need for expansion on the technological end of things.
Yeah.
That's cool. So as of right now, what would you say is your number one priority for Dink Ninjas?
As of right now, I'm really just trying to gain brand awareness. I've had a tremendous amount of success as far as just people reaching out to me on Instagram, just DMing me and asking if they can be brand ambassadors for my brand. And so I've really enjoyed reaching out to them and setting up different ambassadorship programs there. And there's been a number of in the pickleball game, there's a bunch of different kind of scrambles and tournament formats where folks or clubs will set up a pros versus 5-0s format, and they'll bring in some pros that are in the area or able to attend and play against the 5-0s or high level rec type club players. And a number of those different events that were coming up have reached out to me. And so I've been involved in a number of those. And one of the first ones that I got involved in was at the Bellhaven Country Club just outside of DC area. And Ben Johns was one of the pros. Brooke Buckner was there. Anna Bright was there. And they were all taking pictures. And the 5-0s were wearing my apparel and my hats. So I was pretty excited about that. They reached out to me to get me involved, and they made up big banners and hung them around the facility and all that at Bellhaven Country Club. So been able to get some pretty good traction, really just from people reaching out to me so far. So I think once the brand matures a little more and I get some more brand awareness out there, I've had some other folks that are in the college, the NCAA space, at some different university levels, their pickleball clubs reach out to me and want to be a part of what I'm doing here. So I think as the brand matures, obviously we're still in infant stages as far as starting a company goes. I think once we get a little more traction there, I think a ton of potential here for sure.
Awesome. So can you talk a little bit more about the brand ambassadorships? Like, what does that mean? And like, what exactly does that look like for you?
So as far as the brand ambassadorship goes, what folks have asked to do is they play a lot of tournaments. Obviously, with pickleball, there's thousands of tournaments going on every weekend nationwide and worldwide. So there's a lot of folks that are, I would say, probably a lot of the high level people are coming from tennis or other sports, handball, racquetball, stuff like that. So they're integrating into the sport and into the tours at a really high level. And so a lot of these folks have reached out to me for ambassadorships. And so I'm providing them with apparel and hats. And a couple of them have asked for the new paddle that I released about a month ago. And they're playing with that. And I've been getting some really good feedback on the new paddle design that I had built for the brand. And so getting some really good feedback as far as the ambassadors go. They really like what they're seeing, and they really like the feedback that they get from other players asking about what they're wearing and who's making it and where they're based.
Nice. So, how do you handle the customer feedback and complaints, and what improvements have you made based on the customer feedback?
So honestly, I'm not sure what's wrong because I'm not getting any negative feedback yet. I was
This is
expecting
not necessary. This is not necessary that something is wrong. People may still give you some feedback on it.
Sure, yeah.
That's the
And
sense.
I honestly, I haven't had any negative feedback as of yet. Everybody really likes what they're getting out of Dink Ninjas Performance Pickleball. And we've also done some contests on my Instagram and social media outlets, and had some winners of the apparel and of the paddles. And those folks are obviously just right out of the blue. They're just entering in the contest because they want to win, and they've started playing with the paddles. There's a guy up outside of Dallas, actually, where you guys are at. That was one of the winners of the paddles, and so he's been playing around at his club and some different tournaments and stuff with it. And he's been emailing me and really enjoys the feel of it and how it plays and all that as well. So that's been really positive.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, as for our learning and or research, almost all the entrepreneurs faced a lot of challenges in the journey of entrepreneurship. So, what are the biggest challenges to being an entrepreneur in your views?
For me, I think the biggest challenges that I've faced so far were just educating myself on what I needed to do as far as learn how to do web design, learn point of sale technology, learn how to integrate all this different stuff together and to get it to work. Like I said, I'm coming from a commercial and residential development background. And so getting into the technological side of e-commerce and web design and point of sale and all that's been the biggest challenge for me. It was pretty natural for me to come up with the concept and what I wanted the brand to look like and all that. But the technology side of it has posed the biggest challenge for me, just as far as the learning curve goes. That's
cool. So, in terms of if we're going to have this conversation 1 year from now, where do you see Dink Ninjas going?
I'm really interested in expanding it into the college campuses and the different universities that have reached out to me. So I think that we can definitely expand into that arena. There's a lot of the college level, even high school and junior high and all that have jumped on bandwagon as far as just the ability to stay healthy and active and all that, playing pickleball, and what a positive community it's created. And so I'm really looking to expand into the college arena and the tournament arena there as well. And then as we grow, there's a number of different communities and clubs as far as states go as well. I'm involved in a big Dayton, Ohio Pickleball Association up there, and all the different clubs and tournaments they run, and was just involved in their big blowout summer party up there. They gave away one of my paddles this weekend. And so just integrating into the different state clubs and just regional clubs as well. I think there's a lot of potential there to grow the brand as well on that end of things.
Cool. So I believe you and your wife are creative. And so how do you foster creative thinking?
Overall, we both, my wife and I, have a pretty scientific disposition, I would say. So we make a really good team in encouraging each other in our different creative outlets. Obviously, as you can see behind me, she's got a lot of interior design talent.
Yeah.
And on that end of things, I'm the sweat equity on the interior design things. We've done a ton of. We bought a spec home here in Leander about 2.5 years ago. We were looking for a 1-story home. We were coming from a 2-story, and so my wife is super creative and wants things in a certain way. And so we've done a ton of custom work to the house here in Leander, and she comes up with the concept and the idea, and then says, let's implement this. And so I go, oh, okay, that's me. That's where I come in on that end of things. But as far as my entrepreneurial side, she was super excited about the concept of Dink Ninjas Performance Pickleball and just the environment and just the personality that I'm able to create and use to delve into the pickleball scene. Obviously, she's been super supportive of it taking over my life, and so
That's a team.
She figured that, yeah, exactly. I'm just having an incredible support system behind me. I mean, sky's the limit, really.
Awesome. So,
Cool.
what would you say the advantages have been for you being near a big city like Austin?
Really, just the side of how fast stuff can go from concept to, hey, now we have a brick and mortar pickleball club here. You know, it's pretty amazing how fast, especially in Texas. I think everything is so conducive to think tanking an idea, and the permitting side of things and the construction side of things. Everything is so conducive to new ideas and bringing all those to fruition. I mean, everybody just jumps in and gets behind you. And that's what I've experienced with Dink Ninjas Performance Pickleball is everybody that's been around me and has been introduced to the brand. They're so willing to support it and jump on the bandwagon. It's such a great community here in Austin, Texas. And I honestly, as of right now, I don't think I'd want to move my family anywhere else. We really enjoy the environment here.
Amazing. So, what advice do you have to someone that's an aspiring entrepreneur, but is kind of on the fence of making that jump, like what you did back in March? How can they get started, or like, what's the one piece of advice, maybe something that you wish that you knew when you got started?
I would say to he or she that's just starting out, I would say do your research, get a good foundation for your idea, and then jump in. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't get your feet wet. And as far as what I've experienced so far in this enterprise, I mean, I can't thank everyone around me enough, and my wife and everybody around me that supported me enough for just encouraging me. And if you have a good support system and a good group of friends and group of colleagues that you can bounce ideas off of, use it. I mean, everybody that's willing to provide advice, you can get it all together, write it down, take notes of what everybody's suggesting, and then think tank the ideas and just go for it when you're ready. I mean, it's I would say don't hold back, just full steam ahead.
Awesome. So, if somebody wanted to find your website, can you share your website and or social media handles, how they can find you and find your products?
Yeah, so my website is dinkninjas.com. That's going to be my main page. And then if you look on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if you search Dink Ninjas or at Dink Ninjas, the little app sign, Dink Ninjas, I'll pop up for sure on all the different social media platforms. Just started getting my feet wet in the TikTok space. One of my clients said, "Hey, you need to get on TikTok. That's like a bonfire of creativity on there." So I've been getting my feet wet on TikTok, but Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I'm on pretty much every social media platform I can get my hands on, and a little newer Threads since that's in the platform, but doing stuff on there as well. But at Dink Ninjas on all the social media platforms, and dinkninjas.com is my website.
Awesome, Joel. Well, Joel, thank you so much for your time. We're rooting for Dink Ninjas. Hopefully, we can have that conversation again in 1 year from now, where you'll be on all college campuses, and wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely. Hey, I really appreciate your time. It's been an honor to be on your show here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming
much.
here. Thank you.
All right.
You bet.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too. All right. Bye.